channel, where we stream live every weekday at 11 a.m. Please like and subscribe. I'm telling you now in the beginning of the video, so you can just go ahead and click it right now while you're watching. Click like and subscribe. Today, we are going to be watching con artists getting caught compilations. And here we go. I got a new light, so I'm just trying to, you can tell I'm holding my phone. So you might see me, you might not. Alright, and here we go.
I want to be back. But please do not. You just talking about your shit? Hey, yeah, go ahead.
White bitch, I got this. It's that black market I'm shopping. We bustin' well, I'm the first queens, no option. I heard they hating, I don't give a fuck.
Okay. No, hold on. It's honey cocaine. I swear to God, I heard that shit. Hold on. I'll play the song right now. She just asked me honey cocaine. I will play the song right now. Hold on. Oh, shit! No,
Gotcha, man.
Where did you find the boot?
It's right here.
Truck drivers and motorists in passenger cars and vans get booted.
What tire did he boot?
It was the left rear.
Tires and wheels immobilized by this man, James Chard, an alleged thief running MC Parking, who preys on vehicles parked in strip malls and other lots with no official contractor permission to boot them.
You're in the store for about 20 minutes.
Yes.
Next thing you know, your car's got a big yellow boot on it.
Okay.
Latoya Forrester, a stroke victim, got booted in Joliet while parked in a strip mall spot reserved for drivers with disabilities.
You're the victim of a scam.
Yes.
Victims say Chard demands cash on the spot.
James, I'm Dave Savini from Channel 2. There are allegations that you've been booting people all across the Chicago area. You did this to a woman with a disability.
What kind of person does that to anyone, let alone someone who's got a disability?
Obviously, a person that has no conscience.
They claim that you're preying on
You got
people.
half a piece of paper covering you.
Put that hammer out of my face.
He charged truckers even bigger fines. How much did he want to get that boot off?
$1,000.
Shamari Stewart says Chard is a con man who needs to be imprisoned, claiming Chard hung signs up after Stewart parked and walked away from his rig.
And if I didn't give it to him, he was going to tow it, and it was going to be $2,000. $1,000 for the tow and $1,000 for the boot.
This is wrong.
Lansing police agreed, and during our CBS 2 investigation, they arrested Chard on multiple felonies and said he hung signs in lots he had no right to. Police confiscated his signs, receipts, and booting devices.
So we're going to start right over here, is that right?
Yes. Okay.
21.2 pounds. That's the brick right there. Okay. And
I
why
gotta
the
put it up
glass?
for the laugh.
I'm going to break that concrete slab with that glass
It's
without
all
breaking the
of
glass. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. That's incredible. Wait, no, to be honest, I actually felt these bricks. These are real bricks. I mean, there's no dough. Oh! Wow! Check it out, man. Guns.
How the hell did you do that? Oh my God. That's right, I busted this one.
Okay.
Did she inform you that she had family in another part of Ohio?
She did not provide me with that information, no.
She's never provided with you. Excuse me, hold on, so slow. Your Honor, excuse me for a second. I need some time.
Hold on, Your Honor.
We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. If you'll please step out. The record should reflect that the defendant is slouching over to the side and acts like he's sleeping. His
I don't have scroll.
breath appears to be
right here at the back.
quite normal. Doesn't appear to be labored in any way. Is that a fair assessment, sir?
Yes,
It's not
ma'am.
labored in any manner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he appear to be doing anything to you other than sitting in that chair?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, a remarkable change. Thank you. Anything, Mr. Thompson? Mr. Wilkins, do you have any questions for this witness, sir? Mr. Wilkins, as I advised you yesterday, sir, your disruptive behavior was challenging your ability to continue to represent yourself. You've been checked out by trained deputies who are medics. You've been checked out by a registered nurse as well as an emergency medical technician, all of whom indicate that there is nothing physically wrong with you, nor any reason why you couldn't continue here, sir. As I told you, sir, your constitutional right to represent yourself is not a license to abuse the dignity of the courtroom. Neither is it a license not to comply with the rules of procedure, the substantive rules, and it sounds like you're doing exactly what the witness indicated, Mr. Creedmoor indicated you said you would do, which was to make some effort to cause a mistrial. But as I advised you, sir, and as the case law is very clear about, your behavior will not cause a mistrial. It certainly may have an effect on the jury.
If you've ever lost something at an airport, you probably wondered where that digital camera or iPod really ended up. Well, tonight, we've got a sting operation that could bring you some answers. Sometimes your favorite shiny toys can end up in the homes of people who screen your baggage, the TSA officers at the security gate.
This $600 iPad belonging to ABC News was left behind on purpose and then disappeared. ABC News tape shows it was last seen at the airport in the hands of this TSA officer, Andy Ramirez. And then, several hours later, we were able to track our iPad using its Find Me app as it moved away from the airport, step by step, until it stopped at an address 30 miles away in Claremont, Florida, the home of the same TSA officer last seen with our iPad. 2 weeks later, we showed up to get it back from TSA officer Ramirez.
Brian Ross from ABC News.
Yeah,
You can give me a hand here. We're looking for a missing iPad.
Missing iPad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the tracking device shows that it's located right here at this address.
Okay.
Is it here?
No, sir.
But as you will see, that would turn out to be not true.
Did you take it?
No, sir.
You did not take it?
No, sir.
But shortly after we set off an audible alarm on the missing iPad, Ramirez produced it.
Sir.
You found it. There it is.
Okay, turn the camera out.
With his TSA uniform now off, Ramirez said it was his wife who had taken the iPad, not him.
Come on in, sir.
No, I don't want to come inside. I want you to explain how this iPad left at a TSA screening station ended up in your house.
My wife, I'm so embarrassed.
Your wife?
My wife says she got the iPad.
You throw your wife on the bus now?
That can't be true because the last time we saw it was in your hands.
Ramirez was fired by the TSA late yesterday. It says it has a zero-tolerance policy for stealing from passengers.
It is heartbreaking, a situation that thousands of parents find themselves in every year. Their child is missing. Grief-stricken parents will turn to just about anyone, even so-called psychic detectives. So Lisa Guerrero and the I-Squad put some prominent psychic detectives to the test. Are they selling false hope?
I would tell her that I love her and I miss her.
A tearful plea from the mother of a missing teen. John and Joanne Lowitzer have been searching for their 17-year-old daughter, Allie, since she vanished last year.
What do you think happened?
But when the case made national news, the Houston parents say they became inundated with calls from so-called psychic detectives. They say some even showed up at their front door, promising their psychic visions could help bring Allie home. Mark Klass, whose daughter Polly was abducted and killed more than 20 years ago, warns families to avoid psychics, saying they prey on the desperate.
They descend like vultures
And send police on one wild goose chase after another. So we decided to see what would happen when we asked a psychic detective to help solve a missing persons case. Posing as the distraught brother of a missing child, we sent our producer, Charlie McElravy, to meet with Lori McQuarrie.
Hi, how are you? Very nice to meet you, Lori.
We showed her a photo of this missing girl, and she agreed to take the case for $400.
But I think it's solvable.
But what Lori didn't know was that the photo our producer gave her was actually a childhood photo of me. And obviously, I'm very much alive.
I don't believe she's alive. I'm sorry. I believe that it was a violent person.
McQuarrie's sixth sense told her the girl was brutally murdered and sexually assaulted.
I think she was hit in the head with a rock.
But her vision didn't end there.
I think she can be brought home.
Pointing to a remote spot on this map, she even said she could help bring her body home.
Maybe even a mile or two from there.
The next day, McQuarrie sat down for an interview with me to talk about the work of psychic detectives.
I just had a gentleman in yesterday. 30 years ago, his sister disappeared.
She soon began talking about a recent case, but clearly her psychic abilities didn't tell her that I was the girl in the picture.
One of the first things I do in a case, Lisa, is I always make sure people know that if I feel the person is living or not.
So you'll always know,
Yes.
when you talk to a family member, when you start a case, you'll know if this person is dead or
Yes.
alive.
And that's the point, is that
Every time.
Yes.
But apparently her psychic abilities didn't see this coming.
Lori, I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Does this girl look familiar to you?
Yes, she does. I work this case.
This is a girl who you said was beaten and killed.
Okay.
This little girl is me. And you told somebody that she's dead.
Wait a minute. You didn't disappear?
I'm right here.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
How do you explain being
I
completely
can't
wrong?
explain it. I can't explain it.
You're charging them hundreds of dollars.
You know what, dear? I
Hundreds
think
of
we're done.
dollars. You're taking advantage of desperate people with a bunch of hocus pocus, aren't you?
No.
A bunch of hocus pocus,
Thank
aren't you?
It's been an interesting experience. You all have a lovely, lovely evening.
Chi, it flows throughout the body. Without it, you don't function. And it's a radio wave.
Science can't find chi. It doesn't exist as far as science can tell.
And he's able to drop just about anyone using applications of pressure to certain points along the body.
You can't take it there. He's probably weak right here. You okay? This way at the same time. Pressure point knockouts are the easiest way to put a person down.
So basically, they pay.
I can put the largest person that you can find in the world, and I've done this. With that finger, I can put him on the floor.
Dillman claims to have adapted this technique to where he can knock a person out without having to touch them.
Use chi energy out of this hand, and we're going to affect up on the head at the third eye. The snap couple. Back. There we go.
All of these karate techniques are made possible by manipulating chi.
He makes a chi ball. He'll get the radio frequency going between the hands.
Chi ball.
And if you get up and feel, it's actually hotter inside that ball. I've seen him already knock people over with it. He throws the chi in such a way that when he catches it, it knocks him backwards. Pressure points can be dangerous. I've flatlined several people. I know I have chi energy. You can see it with the half moons. My chi is up now because of the filming. I have half moons in my fingertips now. That means the chi is just coming out.
But is the mysterious energy called chi really what's giving Dillman and his followers such extraordinary powers? Or is it, as skeptics suggest, simply a form of hypnotic suggestion? It's time for a showdown. In one corner, weighing in at no more than 125 pounds, is chemist Luigi Garnaschelli.
Chemist.
He thinks he can stand up to a knockout punch of chi because it doesn't exist. In the other corner, it's 8th degree black belt Leon J., one of George Dillman's top associates and fellow practitioner of the no-touch knockout. This ought to be interesting.
fact, when we did the test on Luigi, he was not ready to believe these things. Or maybe it was just staying there, seeing what would happen. It didn't work.
Dillman thinks he knows what went wrong and has come up with a very interesting explanation.
The skeptic was a totally non-believer. Plus, I don't know if I should say that on film, but if the guy had his tongue in the wrong position of the mouth, that can also nullify it. Yeah, you can nullify it. You can nullify a lot of things done to you. In fact, you can nullify it if you raise those two big toes. Plus, if I say I'm going to knock you out, and you raise one toe and push one toe down, can't knock you out. And then if I go to try again, you reverse it. If you keep doing this, I won't knock you out. Plus,
what?
The skeptic was a totally non-believer. Plus, and I moved the line. Plus, I've flatlined several people. Plus, I know I have chi energy. You can see it with the half moons.
For the last 6 months, a rapper from Kitchener called Defunk has been making claims of recording an album with artists from Rich Gang, Stacks on Deck, and Taylor Gang or Die. He had an album that was supposed to be released nationwide through Walmart, iTunes, and Google Play back in June, but that never happened, and an EP a month after that back in July with a track featuring Gucci Mane, which hasn't seen the light of day. Instead, on July 23rd, a whole month after its scheduled release, Defunk's album, Music to the Mind Levitation, was uploaded to cdbaby.com, a website where anybody who's anybody can upload their music to be sold. Most recently, he's made claim to have a new single called Emoji with A$AP Rocky coming soon. Now, anybody with a half-functioning brain can clearly tell this is bullshit. With his poorly photoshopped album covers, lack of a website, god-awful production quality, and flow like molasses and dog shit, Defunk and manager of Jungletown music group Xerxes Blacka Baxter, so he's called on Facebook, still somehow think they're pulling the wool over people's eyes. So, back in June, I decided to give Defunk, also known as Darnell, a call to talk about his album, and tried to get him to admit to some of his lies. Here are those conversations, but first, a little sample of his awful off-time flow.
We like the hard like it's sipping through a hit fatality. Got girls stealing shade, you know that. Much on conversation of Scooby. Working kind of well like Chewy. Cause the truth use anti-freeze. Better condemn your enemies, so you left them so cold, my heart cold.
Hello?
Hi, is this Darnell?
Yes it is.
Hi, I was just calling to ask you a couple of questions about your album.
Yeah, who is it?
My name is Zachary. I was wondering if you wanted to talk about your album.
Oh, yeah. Like, is this like a radio station or like what's good with this? Yeah, Music to the Mind Levitation.
Yeah, it was supposed to drop today apparently, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, right. I'm just waiting on my manager right now. It's like frustrating shit.
Well, what exactly does that mean? I'm seeing on your Facebook here that it's being distributed in Walmart,
Yeah.
And on iTunes and Google Play as well?
Yep.
On iTunes and Google Play right now, there is nothing that comes under Defunk, though.
Oh, like it's not like Pussycat or anything.
What exactly does that mean?
Like it's not like posted or anything. Like you haven't like posted yet or anything. Like you have to he hasn't been online or anything yet.
Oh, like your manager has to like email the album to Steve Wozniak and he has to post it to Apple. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to do all that shit like as soon as he gets on tonight, like today.
Cool. And you're signed to Jungletown Music Group, eh?
Yep.
When did you get signed to them?
Yeah, I'd say June. I've only been rapping for a year and a half, and right now, like on my album, I have people from SODMG, Free Bands. I have Rich Thug. I have like a lot of like features on it and stuff.
Do you have any specific artists that you'd like to like make a shout out or like know or?
You're just gonna have to wait till my album drops in like a few hours, and you'll see.
You know he's lying.
I've never heard of Jungletown. Who's in charge of Jungletown Music Group?
Oh, it's an independent label. Like, my manager originally like worked for Compilation, so like he wanted to make his own label and stuff, and a bunch of industry insiders like made a label called Jungletown Music Group. So I guess like a bunch of like stuff. Like I got like free like digital distribution, free mixtape hosting, free mixtape sponsorship, a bunch of stuff.
Right, very cool. What's your manager's name?
They call him just Mr. Baxter.
Mr. Baxter.
Yep.
After numerous attempts trying to contact Darnell again over the course of several hours, he ended up calling me back. I ended up missing the call, but he left me a voicemail and had these choice words to say to me.
Yo, it's so fun right now, like, yo, I should be charging you for fucking, like, asking you for interviews and shit, but, like, yo, you're from my city end of the day, but fucking stop, like, spending my phone. You'll get to interview. My album's in storage right now. It'll be uploaded soon time, but, like, just chill right now, right? Huh?
The 40 grand coming his way soon time. You don't even know my nigga, yo. You gotta get sponsored out here, B. You don't know my nigga out here. Famous, B.
Yeah.
You gotta pay up, dog.
My manager Rich for co-play, so, like, everything's good right now. Like, I'm just chill right now, you know? So just, like,
that's still up, dog.
Just text me. Easy.
Darnell.
Yo, what's good? Yo, what's the fuck?
Yo, what's good with you? Where's the album at?
Oh, bro, yo, the album is, like, not uploaded from my manager, but, like, it's uploaded at the States right now. Like, it's in storage right now, bro.
No, it's not, man. I've looked all over Walmart in the States. I've called up Walmarts from every
First of all, the fact that
point.
this guy has
I've
researched this
called Walmarts
man
in
is
New York,
hard.
in Atlanta,
Really
in Florida,
explains,
in
like,
Seattle,
you know he's
in
lying. Why do you
California.
keep giving him?
There is
Like, you
no
about to make him
album
famous now
of
because
Music to the Mind Levitation in stock in
researched him.
Walmart in the States.
Are you sure?
What do you mean, am I sure? Are you sure, man? Come on.
Oh, bro, like, are you, like, actually, like, sure right now?
No. What do you mean? Cut the lies, man.
Like, no, what the fuck, yo? Like, I never, like, knew that. Like, if it's, like, it's not true, you know?
No, I'm talking about you, man. Like, what you're saying is not true.
Oh, what the fuck? Like, it's actually not, yo. Like,
there's no album, man. There's nothing on the internet that says anything about you. The only thing that exists about you or Jungletown or Mr. Baxter, a.k.a. Xerxes Blacka Baxter on Facebook is Facebook groups. That's it. That's the only thing that exists of you, man. There's nothing online. I've called Walmart. I've done the fucking research. There's nothing out there.
Are you sure?
What do you mean, am I sure?
Are you sure?
Sure.
You've been living a lie, man.
Oh, bro, like, if I'm not living a lie, like, that's like different story, man. But, like, I'm a fucking, like, good guy right now, man.
Hey, man, I'm checking out your Instagram, and it says that you had a show with Cess Crew on April 12th?
Yeah.
Yeah? No. Nowhere online does that say fucking anything of you having a show with Cess Crew. No, not Wagwan, nigga. Fucking put your friend on the phone. I don't want to hear from you about the fact that your friend has 40,000 coming his way. I want to talk to the fraud.
Yo, listen, nigga. Yo.
I'm not your nigga. Don't call me your
too
nigga.
comfortably, you know.
Listen, bro. You trying to get interviewed?
No, I'm not trying to get an interview. I'm trying to ask this guy why he's being a fake and a fraud. It's not in stores, man. I've done the research. It's nowhere to be found.
Why does it matter? Who gives a fuck?
You saw what?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen to me for a second. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I saw an album and I saw it on fucking internet. So listen to me right now. You need to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and done story. That's it. You're cut. That's it, Django. That's it, bro. Done.
Alright. Yo, Tom, like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like, fucking chill, man.
Nah, man, you gotta come clean.
fuck would it be coming clean right now, yo? Like, I'm actually looking
Because
right
it'd
now.
be really embarrassing in front of all your friends, and it would probably ruin you. Man, you're gonna have such a bad night. You're a fake.
Are you fucking stupid? Yo, shut the fuck up.
Man, where else are you on the internet? Where else are you on YMCMB's page, fucking Brick Squad, fucking TDOG, SODMG? Where are you on their website?
Does it really
Nowhere.
matter?
Nowhere.
I'm not signed to those labels. Are you fucking stupid?
It doesn't matter. You have artists from those labels featured on your album, apparently. Hung up.
A couple of things. That one, that was hilarious. Two, the last guy, like, why does it matter? Like, if nobody's taking this guy seriously as a rapper, why have you researched him and called him, got his number? Because obviously it means something if you are trying to expose a rapper. There's plenty of these type of people around the world. Like, there's plenty of them around the world, especially here in St. Louis. In St. Louis, people, rappers who claim to be, you know, the best. It's crazy. Especially the Chi one. I saw that before. The Chi, and I saw all these videos before. It's crazy. But people, like, they do anything to get this money. It's crazy. But the last guy, like, I don't think he was making that type of money, or he was just a bum rapper trying to make this bread. And a white guy who kept saying the N-word. Nobody talking about that, are they? A white guy and a Mexican guy saying the N-word, like they're just cool with it. And that's where the problem is, to me. But anyway, guys, I want to appreciate you. Now I'll see you all next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. I do not have Scar with me today because she's in the back playing with her toys right now. I can hear her. It's crazy. She's so annoying. She really is. That's my baby. Thank you all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.